you can't love deeply without being hurt deeply, and you can't go forward without being criticized. Anything going forward is going to have friction. And so we have had those seasons. I remember the first time we really had a difficult time, the hardest time maybe from the standpoint of just the church had grown so fast. We grew by 300-400 a year for 2-3 years in a row. And we had some people that had come into the church that they were amongst us. They just weren't of us in the sense of even doctrinal issues and things. And so some of them decided to go elsewhere, and they were not kind about it. In fact, one Christmas morning, we had a doorbell. The doorbell rang, and I thought someone was coming by, maybe bring a gift or say Merry Christmas. And there, as I bent over, there was this letter from someone that was a member of the church, and telling me how terrible of a preacher I was, how terrible the church was. They didn't like, just anything. And to spread the cheer, they dropped it off at all 34 deacons' homes that Christmas morning. So I remember sitting down by the fireplace and literally crying. And it was so bad, apparently, because the next year at Christmas, Matthew came up to me that morning. He said, "You're not going to cry all day today, are you, Dad?" So anyways, during that year, which happens to be 1996, I'll never forget Terry saying to me, she said, "Now, you promised me that you won't resign from being a pastor till Matthew graduates from high school." Well, Matthew was in kindergarten. So anyways, we have had some of those moments. We've had some times of hurt and some trials. And, you look back and you learn and you try to become a better leader. You try to grow in grace, and you try to ask the Lord, how could I have handled that differently? But I just have to say that God's grace is sufficient. Paul said, "Therefore will I rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Christ will rest upon me." And I can tell you, Brother Thompson, that if I were to mention 2 or 3 of the specific seasons of hardship in my life, I could also tell you that following those were 2 or 3 of the most fruitful seasons in my life. And sometimes God will not bring blessings and exaltations until he first brings humbling, because he wants to receive the glory from it. And I would just simply say, if you're going through a season of hurting right now, just keep trusting the Lord. Don't get bitter. Let the Lord work in your heart through it. Keep focused on him, and he'll give you the grace to come through.